Okay, welcome everyone. We are doing functions and world building. So let us get into it. All right. Now we are looking at functions and world building, and actually we've actually done well. I've already shared with you how to get into the world. All right, exporting out your world. We'll go through that again. Right. So our lessons actually is kind of the actual content that we're doing is kind of short because it's basically the new thing we're going to be learning is a function. Okay, and it's not really hard to do. It's just how do we do it, why do we do it, okay, how does it look like, and also let's start using functions expressly in our code, right, so that we make things easier for ourselves. And we are also building our virtual world. Okay, let's make sure that at the end of today we have something that we can share and we can peruse each other's world and see how it looks like. Okay, so to share your world, basically you want to be in your start screen and you want to click on view my worlds, see the worlds, make sure that you click on the settings to export the world, okay, in the settings option, okay, of the world that you're selecting. All right, and the file, okay, that you want to save it will be known as a .mc world, okay, file extension. Right, so this is just the file name, and you know how to move files around and stuff like that. And if you have problems doing this, all right, let us know. Okay, so when you want to import your file, okay, like you can, when you export your file, okay, and you can post this on the Padlet. Okay, so when on Padlet, any of us can import your file when we download it. Okay, here's the import button to go through to select that file. Okay, so to open it up. All right, so let's begin by actually getting your final project, okay, idea. Right, what do you want to do? What do you want to do what do you want to build, okay, in your world? You can basically continue from whatever you've been starting on doing, all right, or you can take this time now to define exactly what is your goal. Okay, what are you trying to achieve for today? So let's understand what is a function. Okay, basically, okay, it's just a set of code, okay, that gets run, okay, when you actually use the function. Okay, you are running a preset amount of code. Okay, and the idea here is that you can reuse this function, all right, at any time you want. Okay, because you're basically just repeating that whole set of stuff. Okay, it's not a repeat loop. Okay, it's not a repeat loop. You can have repeat loops inside your function, okay, because as part of your function you need to repeat whatever actions you need to do. That's fine, but just think of it as, instead of rewriting the entire code, copying the exact same structure, you know, to do the exact same thing that you want somewhere else in your world or wherever, right, you can basically reuse it as a function. Okay, so if we imagine that you are going to have a code, okay, and that code allows you to drive a car, okay, this is what we call a pseudocode right now. Okay, this is not actually right now what you're seeing here, okay, is just sort of like a conceptual idea here. But if you did have the code that enabled you to so-called actually drive a car, okay, let's say that we call this code, this function, drive car, right? So it's named over here, drive car. And the steps involved, okay, or if you want to think of it, the algorithm that is used to drive the car is all the steps you take step by step. Okay, you open the door, you have to sit down in the driver's seat, you turn on the engine, you have to make sure that you have your brake on, okay, apply your brake in the car before you put the gear into drive. Okay, so if you ever seen your parents or anyone driving, okay, this is what actually we need to do. Okay, and then you apply your and then once you put it into drive, maybe then you can drive around and all that. Okay, maybe you will apply the brake. Actually, I can't remember why we would apply the brake again. Okay, but then oh yeah, well, let's say you need to apply the brake before you open your sunroof because you don't want to do drive and open and do something else at the same time, maybe for safety. Okay, but basically these functions that have the word call, all right, contain chunks of code, okay, that do more stuff, right? In order for you to know what exactly it does, you need to look inside the function name itself. Okay, so this onChat command is not a function, right? It is just our usual chat command to execute that function. Okay, the function itself exists in the this list over here, right? So you can see in this example, okay, the function only edit once, okay, is the name of the function, and it consists of all this code. This code here has the repeat 4 times, spawning your animal above you, at your position, okay, and placing these grass block, okay, at your position as well. Okay, so this code actually makes the stuff, okay, but this code only edit once, can you see, is being used inside the onChat command run. Okay, just like how we had this in example, onChat command drive car, all the functions are being put inside there. Okay, now compare the code over here with the code over here, right? These codes do the exact same thing. Okay, but you can see on the left, our code is a lot longer. Okay, we have basically packed it away, organized it into this format, okay, using a function, so that our code actually is only a few lines long. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, compared to definitely more than 6 lines of code, right? So that's the biggest reason why we use codes. All right, we make things more efficient. It is also easier to understand. Okay, and instead of checking and seeing, is there any difference between the code here and this one here and this one here? No, it's actually all the same code being run over and over again, okay, because we're using the same function. Okay, so the steps involved, all right, is the defining a function, which I was mentioning. Okay, so you notice it has this function block has this little, what we call a hat block over it. So you can't put any other code on top of it. It exists on its own. In fact, it's kind of like, it reminds you of an event handler, because it's this shape, this mouth shape. Okay, basically this code is independent of everything else. All right, it will only work when you call it. Okay, and the call function is being used over here. So zombie pig is over here. All right, this particular function has to look for this function name to run the code for zombie pig. Okay, there are other functions for atmosphere and for setup, which are not being shown right here. And when they come into play, then they will get picked up and run. So let's go ahead and do our function. Okay, again, our function is in the advanced menu. Okay, so remember to go inside and look into your advanced menu to do that. Okay, and when you go into your function, you're going to create click on the make a function button, just like variables, right? Same thing. You have to make a variable. Now you have to make a function, and then you will name the function. Let's name it as hi, and let's use the execute. Okay, this execute block is inside your player toolbox. Okay, this execute block is the same kind of block that basically is your chat, gives you your chat code. So this would enable you to run a chat code, basically. All right, run a chat code, and this chat code that you're running is say hi. Okay, which is actually the default that they give you, right? Then you're going to go back into your functions menu, and you'll see that the call hi function has been shows up for you, right? So the word call, okay, when you want to use the function, the term we use is that we want to call a function. So we're going to call, and then the name of the function, which you had named as function, was hi. Okay, so you run the function by using the call and the name of the function, right? And that would run, and that would actually, when you run it, okay, you should automatically see hi in your chat area, okay, in the message where the messages will appear in your chat area. Okay. Now you can try to do the same with a function and that says goodbye. I know it sounds very arbitrary, very simplistic, okay? But this is more just, especially for you, for those of you who are doing this for the first time, all right, just to get used to making a function, all right? And we're definitely going to make do functions for a lot more creative stuff than just showing a word, okay, on the screen, okay? But try it out, make a function that says goodbye, okay? So yeah, let me just leave this over here so that you get an idea of what the definition of a function looks like and a call and then the call block. Okay, but try out your functions now. Let me also get my Minecraft on my iPad running. Okay, so take some time. Okay, really easy to make the function, and we're going to actually make it obviously do more stuff than just say hi or goodbye. Okay, and we're going to do that in activity 2, which is our zombie pig. Okay, so what's a zombie pig? All right, basically we want to zombify pigmen. Okay, basically you can turn pigs into zombies. All right, and this is actually more of a challenge kind of thing, because when you have zombie pigmen in the survival mode, all right, they'll chase after you and stuff like that. So we're actually going to make use of our functions in order to do that. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Okay, you can use you can create a new MakeCode project. Okay, you could use the same one that you're on. Okay, the thing is, we are going to have to do a lot of different things. Okay, we're going to actually have to change the setup of the game in order to make it run properly and all that. But we are going to use functions so that we can organize how the code looks like and how it's going to run and so forth. Okay, so let us first of all create a function. Okay, make a function. Okay, and you want to name it a zombie pig, right? Notice there's no spacing. Okay, when you're creating variables, also when you name a variable, there's no spacing in a variable, so you're going to have no spacing in zombie pig. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to create a chat command. Okay, and that chat command is going to say, be called as play, P-L-A-Y, and we'll want to call run the call zombie pig inside that chat command. Okay, so we've created a zombie pig function, but we have not put in any code inside it yet. Okay, we're just saying where we will call the function. Okay, inside the command, chat command called play. Okay, and now when we go back into making into the function, okay, to make a function, okay, we're going to go into our mobs and spawn the animal block. Okay, and make sure that we put it inside the zombie pig function. All right, so we're putting this block inside our function that we've already created called zombie pig. Okay, you don't go and put it inside the chat command. All right, remember the code here, the call zombie pig is going to look for the function name called zombie pig. Okay, and that's well, right now inside zombie pig function, we're going to spawn this animal. Okay, and we're going to change it, the animal, to a pig. Okay, so make sure you select the pig icon and you're going to spawn it with a z coordinate. All right, we're using a z coordinate of -5. Okay, so that it's not right on you. Okay, it's just to your side. Okay, Now go ahead and duplicate the spawn block, right? You can, or you could just, grab another spawn block, okay? But you can also tap and hold and choose to duplicate your spawn block and change the second block, all right? Instead of spawning an animal, you're going to spawn the projectile, okay? Again, it's in the mobs code drawer, okay? So you want to spawn a projectile, and you're going to choose the projectile for lightning bolt, okay? You're not going to you are not going to change the coordinates because your lightning bolt has to hit the same spot as your zombie pig, as your pig. Okay, you are spawning a pig right now, but the addition of a lightning bolt, okay, will then cause the pig to transform into zombie pigman. Okay. Right, and that's why we need to have it being spawned at the exact same location, because it's the lightning that creates the magic. Okay. Okay, so test it out, see whether you can run it and that your zombie pigman will actually spawn. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have a game mode, okay, that is set to survival mode. And we also want to make sure that we have the world in a nice looking atmosphere, all right? So create your functions, atmosphere and setup, and put them inside here, okay? So that we'll call setup, call atmosphere, and then call zombie pig, right? So call setup, call atmosphere, and then call zombie pig. Okay. And what we want to do is when you call the atmosphere, when inside the setup function, right? We want to change the game mode to survival, right? Now, there is a block that will do that, okay? That will change your game mode settings, okay? See whether you can find it first, okay? Explore and see whether you can figure it out, okay? Same thing for the atmosphere, right? So see whether you can make up these first. Oh yeah, so I was saying that you can work on the challenges, all right? And the challenges are basically this, right? If you're creating a function, all right, remember this is more of a challenge. So try to see whether you can figure it out on your own. But in a variable, if you look at your variables block, when you create a variable, you will get a block that says change by. Okay, you will get a block that says change by once you've created a variable, all right? And that is key in order to make a counter, or in order to make a score counter, all right? And see whether you can take it up from there. Let's get our so let's get ourselves to build our world, okay, our 3D world. Work on your house or your object that you're creating, your world that you're creating, and use functions, all right? Try using your functions so that you can compartmentalize, okay, the parts of the code so that they make more sense, okay? You're building certain parts of your building or your house or your coconut island, and then you can have functions that tell you exactly what is being built, okay? And then you can combine the functions to be building a bigger, to build the entire world. Okay, so time now is 11:07, right? Okay, so if you're back with me, basically we are going to build our own 3D virtual world, okay? And we are using, if you can use your functions to do that. So just some pointers here. Remember that Minecraft, you actually have biomes that you can choose from. Okay, so you can actually create a new world, get out of this one, go and find your biomes. All right. And that's actually did we mention it? We mentioned it in the last slide, okay. How to get to the biomes and all that is basically in your play, in the when you start creating a world, right? You can actually search for the biomes that you want. Okay, Minecraft, because you're going to be in creative mode, okay, you have every block that's available to you. You're going to want to take videos, all right? So make sure, or pictures, all right? Make sure that you can change the day if you need to. Remember, there is a console setting that you can use. In other words, in your chat, you can use the / command to change the time of day immediately. Copy and paste, all right? This is referring to your builder code, and use the builder code to actually copy and paste the volume that you want to copy, and then you can duplicate, right? So that's the end of the slides here. Okay, so now I want to make sure that everyone has something to post up. All right, so we're going to be checking to make sure that everyone also has your name. Okay, please have your name in your class when you post up. Then at least I know that, okay, you've been that I can kind of like know that you've done something lah. All right. Do you need any? Do you have any questions about this final world? Okay, and I do want you to share your world as well, right? As much as possible. Okay, so before you finish, definitely post the link, the share link, okay, to your world. Okay, all the slides are being referenced in the slide deck. Okay, so you can go back to the slides and see how you share the world, or look at the biomes. All right, so if I open up to slide 2, variables and geometric solids. Okay, all right, we talk about it. This is your importing your world, exporting your world. Or was it in 1? Maybe it was in number 1 when we talk about the biomes. Okay.
Is it okay if we build part of it by hand?
If you build what?
Part of it by hand.
Yes, it is fine. So our main aim is show me something that you've done in code, but it doesn't have to all be done in code, right? What makes sense to build in code, build it in code. Okay, there are certain things that it's faster and easier and more intricate. You're going to be building it by hand, but things like a big house, all right, has 4 walls, has a roof, has many bricks that you'll be using, all right, and that takes longer. If you want to build a big structure, right, try using that in code.
I literally built everything by hand. Like block by block. I don't even use command.
Okay, remember our purpose here for this class is to understand how to use code in Minecraft. All right, so I can't have you just do everything by hand. Okay, show me what you can achieve that would be so hard to do in code by hand. Okay, because it will take you a long time. All right, use code to make things efficient for you. All right, or basically use code to figure out how you could make something intricate, right, rather than just doing it by hand. Okay, that's our aim for today. Okay, so maybe I would want to show you. Okay, if we want to start off with a world biome. Okay, is it in the beginning of this slide that I have it? No. Okay, so it looks like we never really showed you. Okay, so let me show you. Let me try this again. Let me get the screen sharing up. Will this work? But basically, you can exit out of your world and go to your start menu. And when you create a new world, you can look at your library to find the biomes. Okay, so you could start off with a desert world, an underwater world, all right? Create a world that you want from the biomes section. Yeah, I'm going to try another way of screen sharing, actually. Let me do my QuickTime Player. Yeah, I'm going to use my recording here. All right. So what I wanted to achieve was, okay, if we want to go and exit out of our game, all right, so remember, press the pause button, save and exit to get out of here. And if we want to create from a biome, a pre-made world, a pre-made environment, okay, we go back to our main menu, right? So make sure that you are in the play and you can create new, right? You create the new, and we can use templates, okay? And you can search, okay? There are templates here that well, that can be made, okay? Oh wait, sorry, not templates. So when you're in the view my worlds, all right, I think if it's view library, there it is, okay? In the view library, so again, let me show you, okay? When you create a new world, don't create a new world, go to view library, and in view library, you will have the starter worlds over here. Starter worlds has biomes. It also has build plates, if you notice, all right? But you can see if you use biomes, all right, you can pick in an environment that you want, okay? And that will just give you the entire world based in that environment. Let me go back and see. Build plates is another one, okay? But this is pre-created, okay, plates. So maybe if you want to, let's say, have concrete world, you know, or a forested world, okay, or not forested world, but you know, an area that's forested, something like that, you could use these build plates as well, right? Yeah, so these have, well, as you can see, like for example, there's a starter town over here, and this one has all your buildings and all that. So the reason why I didn't mention about this is because then I won't know exactly what you have built and what is in the starter world, all right? But perhaps if you look at the blocks of grass or the blocks of concrete, okay, this one, you know, there's nothing else. It's quite bare. But then if you wanted to have, like, let's say, this kind of block area, if you want to create more of a city kind of look, all right, then you can start from one of these simpler build plates, all right, not the more fancy build plates lah. Okay, but best if you just use the biome, because that one definitely just gives you a world. Okay. Okay. And these are sort of like these build plates are sort of like templates lah, right? So building platforms this way, right? So this is more of a structured. Okay, so example, this is a build plate, all right? So if I go over here, okay, basically I have these flat plates, all right? So they're kind of like little worlds on their own, right? If you just wanted to start from something that's very basic, right? I don't think you would probably want to use this, but I'm just putting it out there in case it might make sense to you. Okay, so I recommend just sticking to the biomes. So as I said, my purpose is just to at least give you the understanding of how code can be used. In however you use the code is fine. At least do something in code. It doesn't have to be massive. It can be small little things that it could be a decorative thing that you want to make, and use the code to do that. It could be used to build the entire structure. All right, it's really up to you how you want to use it. But I hope that you've been able to learn the concepts that we use in coding. All right, especially when you want to loop something, when you want to use variables to change, update the values, and how we can use functions, and just get a better understanding of the basics of coding, right? And especially when you do something with Minecraft, it can definitely help you. And of course, you can mix and match it with your own creative stuff, but you can get more massive creative stuff done, or more efficient ways of working on it if you also employ it with the code as well. And take this time to also explore Minecraft education. It's available because this is a subscription, remember, and you're using your school account, and that's why you're able to use this without paying. Okay, otherwise this particular version of Minecraft is a paid format lah. Okay, so make use of the fact that you have your school account to be able to access Minecraft education. There are tutorials inside. You can explore more about coding as well in there, or just go around and explore, or just work on what we've been doing and just make more of it. Okay, make your world even more impressive.